So, boss, you did it. You didn't have to wait 2 months for it. Yep, Fisky the second is alive and well, and we got her today. I'll talk about that and a whole lot, including yes. What are you doing? Your lordship, what are you doing? What do you mean? What do you mean, your lordship? I am Darth Hayes. You keep doing that, you'll be Darth Purple Haze because, lawyers are still around. They now have mouse ears. Oh, I didn't know that. Uh, are you doing this or am I? Live! Are you sure you want me to do this, Harold? Okay. Live from the Tom O'Neill Memorial Broadcast Studios at the Park Forest apartment complex in Jackson. This is Steve Sporty Balls. I'm Lord Hawthorne Hayes. I'm, well, just observing. I'm Harry Von Stuttgart. And here's our host. Thank God he's not Vince McMahon. Steve, the Baxman Baxley. Thank you, Your Lordship, Harry. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the program. You may notice we have been sitting on a recliner since we have returned. Well, I'm here to tell you the recliner is about to be tossed. Um, Something is happening here. We're not the only ones feeling it, but we are being visited by little pest known as bedbugs, and it's not the first rodeo for this place. So we're going to tell management on Monday that we have been visited, and it's taken our pillows, and it's got to be here in the recliner. And I have done an experiment, and it most definitely is the recliner. So tomorrow after church and a few other places, I am going to be scrubbing things down and get things back in shape here. So I can invite you folks to join us. We're going to have a new chair. We're going to have some new stuff. We're even going to move in to our new studios, which are finally almost done yet. But right now, folks, it's time for us to do what we do best, and that is our little sports entertainment show. By the way, might as well show you. We had literally the triple header. We had not only National Comic Book Day, not only May the 4th be with you always, but also, well, I got it wrong. We had motorcycle group motorcycle groups here. That's one. We had May the 4th be with you always. That's two. We had and we had also the biggest and most important day ever next to May the 4th be with you. It was Free Comic Book Day, and I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I got free at our place called Nostalgia Inc. INK. So let's begin with the three free comic books. Of course, we had Doctor Who. and I've seen the episodes. It's pretty good. There's also, and one name says it all. Aye! Right, Johnny Quest, and it's absurd, it's inane, it's mad. That's right, mad comic book. I cannot stress this. But also, I bought a couple of comic books, actually, about uh, four of them, actually. Here we go. The first, it's 30th anniversary of Space Ghost Coast to Coast. So, what better way to do it than Space Coast? It's then Space Ghost, the Lee foil. Yep, that's a foil little cover, folks. Space Ghost, number one with a bullet, number one in your heart. Hail Gary Owens, and oh boy, who was the other gentleman that did it? He lives in Florida. I think he retired too. George, God, what was his name? Um, guys, can you guys look that up, please? Yeah, just uh, George Lowe. George Lowe is his name. And to read about him on Wikipedia is amazing. He is, I do believe, 68 years old. Um, it's been, it's wild. He is a voiceover artist. He is the king. I'm going to say it. The king. So, congratulations. I mean, the guy is good. We love you, George Lowe. We'd love to have you on with us one day. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he listens to our little show, but if he does, George, we'd be honored to have you with us. Or on Last Call Cafe. Also got, we can come back here now, boys. Thank you. Also got this little obscure comic book, the Nightly News. There you go. It's going to be something to read tonight. We also got Dr. Fate. Very nice. Like I said, I got some obscure comic books. Mirage. Sorry, there's a shadow, or there's a little fader there. Hey, you can even see my show. Okay, and finally, celebrating 100 years, their centennial anniversary. The Three Stooges. There you go. And if you haven't seen his YouTube show, you should. Curly G is one very interesting person. And hopefully when our Twitch channel starts, we might see if he will join us and talk about the Stooges, fame, and such. But before we do all that, we must provide you with the latest in sports news and information. And if you noticed our new look, well, it's still the old look, but we included pictures. Whoa, I'm telling you, things. There is one report we're going to be doing that has two bizarro things to it. And I will explain everything right now. Bye, 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 bye. But here we go. How you doing? Uh, old Betsy over here is going to take her last seats, and I'm thinking strongly of junking her because uh, it's all it's all right here. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, buts, or ors about it. This chair has some bugs. It hasn't. It wasn't checked by Saint Vinny. So Saint Vinny, you got a situation on your hands. I suggest you start checking your furniture when it gets donated. Anyway, check it, clean it, top to bottom. Anyway, what are we doing, Boboshiski? I asked this question of you. What are we doing? Let's hmm, let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, why don't we talk about her? Caitlin Clark made her preseason debut for the WNBA tonight, and she dropped a big load, 21 points tonight. It ain't easy, but it was good. It was. We'll have scores in that a bit later on. But a lot of things have happened. And we can't tell you one thing, but, well, before we do all that, let's face it, folks, we got something. Anyway, yay. Anyway, folks, we got some talking. It's 12 minutes past 10. Let's go to it. The Los Angeles Clippers were bounced from the first round of the playoffs by the Dallas Mavericks after a 114-101 loss in Game 6 Friday. And while the sting of losing is still likely there for the players and coaches, the Clippers are already looking ahead, primarily as it pertains to Coach Ty Lue. The Clippers are reportedly looking at signing Lue to a contract extension. This report from ESPN. One that would take him further than the 25-26 season, which is when his current deal is set to expire. That news comes after the Lakers announced the dismissal of coach Darvin Ham on Friday and reports that they're looking to bring Lue in to fill the void. Lue is one of the top coaches in the league today with a 312-217 career record and a track record of regularly appearing in the playoffs, highlighted by a 2016 championship with the Cleveland Cavaliers. There are surely a number of teams that would love to have him, but he told reporters following Friday night's loss that he's not interested in bouncing around to different teams. Lue was asked if he expected to remain with the Clippers on a long-term basis, to which he said, "That's his hope. I hope so. I didn't come here to bounce around and go all over the place." Mr. Ballmer, Lawrence, Mark, Trent, Gillian, they've all been great to me. This is where I want to be, and hopefully they feel the same way. Haven't had a better experience since I've been here. Mr. Ballmer showed me a lot of different things that I wouldn't be privy to if it wasn't here. Except, of course, our teleprompter has just stopped. Okay, kill the teleprompter for a bit. We'll wait. Okay. Hey, Matt Ed Nettie, and hey, Matchy, how are you, says? Great to have you with us. I wish Mandy was here. Mandy Summers. The reason our show is called Steve Sporty Balls because we like to have fun. And Mandy Summers, you are one of the funnest people I've been around. Matt, I'm glad you are doing great. I am doing splendidly. And I'm comfortable, but still, I'm sorry to see this go, but it has to, for an obvious reason. It's infested. I just have this feeling, and I've got a comforter that's full of dead ones. So I'm going to tell the folks here that even my apartment is not immune to the invasion force. Anyway, signing Lou to an extension is a smart move for a team that still has championship expectations when healthy, but it's just one of several major decisions the Clippers will face this summer. And we hope they do right because he is good with the Clippers. He would not be good with the LA Lakers because of one person, that's LeBron James. In fact, Ty Lue should stay with the Clippers, avoid LeBron James and his antics. So there you go. I made my point clear. Okay. Leave us now get to what else we got here today. We got more of the NFL. By the way, we will bring you live coverage. That's right, live, beautiful coverage of the 2024 NFL schedule. It'll be enlightening, at least I hope. It'll be enlightening, somewhat true. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's see. Do we have anything here tonight? Do do do. Do 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 do. Okay, not in football segment, eh? Okay, well, we gotta have it somewhere. Oh yeah, we're focusing on three things. Don't worry, we'll get you an update on the big fight. UFC, I do believe, uh, three digits. UFC is great is on today, and we'll give you the pre-fight, or when they say pre-fight, the preliminaries. But let me just pop in here and tell you what has happened. And wow. Um, just saying it. From our friends at Awful Announcing, and wow. Back in March, some Arena Football League games were announced as heading to the NFL Network, but the first wave of games there, set to air this past Saturday and Sunday, didn't happen. And Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk reported Thursday that the remaining ones have also been pulled from the NFL Network schedule, despite a March announcement. Here's more from that piece, which details how that March announcement has now fallen apart. In March, the NFL announced that Arena Football League games will be televised on the NFL Network. Now, nope. The Week 1 games were scrapped, a pair of Week 2 games, one that was due to be televised, and another one scheduled for Sunday, have disappeared from the NFL Network listings. A game scheduled for Thursday, May 9th, has also vanished. Now, the NFL Network did not respond to an email sent earlier this week seeking clarification as to its relationship between the NFL and the AFL. At the Philadelphia Inquirer, Christian Red has more on a disastrous week for the Philadelphia Soul, which the league took over earlier this year after another ownership deal fell through. That team played with only a few of their players and mostly replacements from another league in Lafayette, Louisiana, Saturday. And the details, they're not good. Trisha Burnett, a certified sports agent, let's try it again. Tristan Burnett, a certified sports agent based in Fredericksburg, Virginia, who represents Joe Mancuso, the Soul's scheduled starting QB, said in a phone interview Friday that his client had a demoralizing experience at the Super 8 hotel. Burnett said the Soul players were kicked out of the motel and into the street early Friday morning, that the motel bill wasn't paid, and that the players' luggage was taken from them and locked in a motel room. Quote, law enforcement got their stuff from Super 8. Joe is just down. He left a good situation in the indoor football league with the Vegas Nighthawks. He took a bet on himself in a new league. He had a nice apartment for his young son and wife in Henderson, Nevada, and he comes to this. The Soul players were promised apartments. There were drugs and prostitution coming in and out of this motel. It's been a disgrace. Joe was like, I haven't gotten a W-2 yet to get paid. With no players association, nobody's going to stick up for these guys. That was something, I tell you, nothing I've ever experienced before in terms of the Soul. I don't know if that's in my future. With the current ownership, they did us wrong, so there's no trust, said Mancuso, who played college football at the University of Richmond. Friday, when we got kicked out of the motel, I wanted to go home, so I came back to North Carolina. Eternally, our Soul team was good. We would have shined, but everything outside wasn't aligning for us. Malik Honeycutt, a Soul wide receiver who signed with the club in February, posted a video to his Instagram story on Saturday when he repeated over and over, it's crazy. Louisiana's playing the Philly team, but that is not the Philadelphia team's new nor coaching staff. They just made another head coach today. It's a team from another league that's going to put on our jerseys and play as us, Honeycutt said in a second video. All of this bodes quite poorly for this version of the AFL. It's notable that the league has had plenty of past struggles, including 2008 and 2019 bankruptcies, and the current reports are certainly concerning for its future. In fact, from what I'm hearing, they got no future. In fact, they are DOA, literally dead on arrival. I mean, really, it is just shocking to just say that bluntly. It is shocking to see what happened to a great league. Once again, ESPN in the middle of a, excuse the expression, cockfight. The discussion around Milwaukee Bucks guard Patrick Beverley and his actions Thursday night has now taken a wild media dimension. Beverley caused controversy on the court by twice throwing a ball into the stands at fans, then added to that off the court by refusing to talk to ESPN producer Melinda Adams and repeatedly shoving her microphone away because she didn't subscribe to his Barstool Sports presented podcast. That controversy has now led to multiple days of debate, even over if Beverley will again be welcome on ESPN platforms. And it's now led to ESPN calling out Front Office Sports reports as erroneous, saying he isn't banned and never was, and FOS sticking by it. Here are those latest developments. And this is crazy, but update. On Saturday, ESPN walked back its stance, stating that Beverley is not banned and that no action was taken against him in regards to his incident with Melinda Adams. This contradicts a policy set on Friday of which FOS has direct knowledge. FOS stands by its reporting. Ooh. Now, as a refresher, Beverley had made a number of ESPN appearances over the years, most notably during the 22 NBA playoffs. Many of those appearances were provocative, seeing him go off on players and hosts, but they spawned the Washington Post profile, questionable even at the time, on him as a so-called anti-media star. And after that, Beverley launched his Barstool-backed The Pat Bev podcast with Rone, uh, uh, Adam Federone, but continued to make some appearances on ESPN platforms, including a bizarre one in December on a Kevin Hart hosted alternate broadcast where Beverly brought up allegations of Josh Giddey having a relationship with a minor. Newport Beach police eventually decided not to charge Giddey there. Heading into this week, and before any of the drama around Adams, an ESPN source tells our friends at Awful Announcing, where we got the story from, that the company did not have a specific ongoing contractual relationship with Beverly. His 2022 appearances came as per that above Wall Washington Post piece under standard broadleaf contract, paying guests usually in the range of 3,000 to 10,000 per day, but one that only ran for 15 days. Now, once the Bucks were eliminated Thursday, ESPN certainly could have offered Beverly a similar deal or a shorter one, um, or a higher value one if they wanted to, but they could have done that in the 23 playoffs, and they didn't. It's unclear if Beverly would have taken that anyway, considering he does now have his own podcast platform, which he did not when he was making those 2022 appearances. With all that said, though, AA's reporting indicates the company did not have current plans to bring Beverly on their airwaves even before anything happened on Thursday. Now, following Beverly's actions, disgraceful, disgusting, childish, moronic, stupid uh, actions Thursday, which he did eventually apologize to Adams for, bringing him on ESPN obviously would have become thornier still. Countless ESPN colleagues chimed in defense of Adams, as did many others in the media. And the company put out a statement through spokesperson Ben Cafardo indicating their full support for her. After that is when we get the discussion of an ESPN ban of Beverly, and that specific language is what's really at play here. The idea of a ban in general is something media companies and many individuals in media have strong reactions to, much more so than if the thing in question just doesn't happen. So that made the front office sports report Friday from Michael McCarthy very notable for its particular language. Um, and this is part of it. Following his disrespectful treatment of an ESPN producer, Bucks guard Patrick Beverly is now persona non grata at the country's biggest sports network, front office reports has learned. ESPN management has banned Beverly from making further guest appearances on studio shows such as First Take and Get Up, according to sources familiar with the network's thinking. Yeah. ESPN management has banned is definitely a strong claim. Now, technically, it's one that goes well beyond anything anyone has found so far. It was also quickly pushed back on by Sports Business Journal's Austin Karp and The Athletic's Andrew Marchand. That led to McCarthy pushing back himself. And Michael McCarthy saying, of course, report is accurate. If ESPN is saying otherwise now, that's backpedaling. Ew. Now, there's absolutely crucial distinction between banned and not going to be on anytime soon. The former is a policy implemented by management. Latter is an editorial decision. But let's put it this way. Whatever happened, he should not have acted like the biggest asshole in the world towards a woman. Women are to be respected. Women broadcasters are to be respected. He did not respect her. He treated her like, well, I'm going to say it. He treated her very viciously. Respect, brother. Respect. Man card revoked for 1 year. And on another big story that ESPN is a part of, Yes, there have been rumors, but apparently those rumors are no longer rumors. Can you dig it? Because I know I can. Yep. Um, and we're going to look for that. As you know, the folks at NFL Network, which is owned by NFL Media Inc., job cuts, lineup changes, and the end of NFL Total Access. Think of it as football's version of Sports Center. Note the symmetry I just said, and you're going to find out why if you haven't already. A half a dozen employees of NFL Media and other arms of a league that generates roughly 20 billion in annual revenues were laid off Thursday, sources with knowledge of the situation tell Front Office Sports. In a statement, an NFL rep confirmed the layoffs without specifying the depths of the cuts, but the aforementioned sources say that includes at least 6 NFL employees in New York and Southern California, and that the cuts come ahead of significant changes to the NFL Network's programming in the coming months. Like any successful organization, the NFL regularly evaluates its workforce to ensure the proper support of just strategic priorities, including international expansion, the growth of flag football, and the evolution of digital and media platforms. We have made the difficult decision to part ways with some employees to allow us to further invest in these growth areas and ensure the continued strength of our game and the business, end quote. Now, as the NFL uh, chases those growth areas, other parts of the shield are being re examined. The layoffs inside the umbrella of NFL media have most impacted the NFL network, and noticeable lineup changes are expected when training camp and preseason starts up this summer. Good Morning Football, production of which is relocating from New York to the NFL Network's LA studios, right across from SoFi Stadium, will continue to be a pivotal part of the league's media ambitions. Sources with knowledge of the situation tell our friends at Front Office Sports, but NFL Total Access, the NFL Network's live weeknight studio show, will be canceled later this month. The New York Post first reported the cancellation. As first reported by The Athletic, NFL Media laid off several on air personalities in April, including Melissa Stark, Andrew Siciliano, James Palmer, and Will Selva. And at this time, the NFL was still in strategic discussions with ESPN about loading its media business to about offloading its media business in return for a hey, it's been a long day. Let's try it again. The NFL was still in strategic discussions with ESPN about offloading its media business in return for a minority stake in the Disney owned network. Actually, that should say Disney slash Hearst Media uh, owned network, because Hearst Media owns 20%, not a hut, owns the other 20% of ESPN Incorporated. According to, of course, sources with direct knowledge of negotiations. Michael Irvin, who wasn't part of the NFL's draft coverage last week, didn't have his contract renewed, the New York Post reported Friday. Irvin had worked as an analyst for the NFL Network since 2009. Now, let us assume that that the NFL Network does want a little piece of ESPN, and ESPN in turn wants a little piece of the NFL network. Now, if you'll recall, many a moon ago, the NFL chastised ESPN for a primetime show they did, because the E in ESPN stood for entertainment, called Playmakers. It was about a fictitious football team, behind the scenes of a fictitious football team. And that pretty much was some of the episodes were, shall we say, hitting a little too close for home for the NFL, and they threatened to take away Sunday Night Football and give it to Turner. Well, ESPN caved, canceled Playmakers, and decided to play kissy-kissy with the NFL. Now that the NFL wants to offload some of its media assets, including possibly the NFL Network wants to be part of ESPN. They want a part of ESPN, a minority stake. Just maybe, I don't know, 40-60, 40 them, 60 Disney. Actually, 40 them, 40 Disney, and 20% Hearst Media. You got to mention them because they do own a piece of ESPN. So the NFL would actually join Hearst Media as minority owners of ESPN, which would give ESPN, 60%, which would give Disney 60%. The NFL and Hearst Media would get 20% each. As a graduate, but now if this happens, is this going to put little pressure on the other leagues that ESPN has contracts with? NBA, which we got a report, little fast update for you. NBA, the NHL, and Major League Baseball. Now, Major League Baseball, we understand ESPN may be saying goodbye to Major League Baseball next season. If true, then somebody's going to be very, very happy. But we don't know who. But we will keep you updated on this continuingly developing story as ESPN tries to come to the rescue of the NFL, the NFL Network, and in tune, the NFL will have a little piece of ESPN. It will probably be another 20%, like Hearst Media has, because Getty Oil Corporation were the actual owners. They had, if I'm not mistaken, 80%, with 20% going to Hearst Media. And then Cap Cities ABC bought Getty's portion of it, and ABC and Hearst had ESPN. Then Disney bought ABC and was now owned by Disney, ABC, Hearst Broadcasting, now known as Hearst Media. 80% Disney, 20% Hearst Media. Now you know the history. So what's this mean in the grand scheme of things? Well, it means this. Stay tuned because the wildness is still to come. I have a sneaky feeling. Obadiah, life go on. And it goes on with the Kentucky Derby, the 150th running, which for the first time ever, I don't know. Yeah, what would be the first time? And that is we had a Kentucky Derby that literally took about maybe a couple of hours to figure out. That's right. Let's give you a little talkie talk. Mystic Dan won the 150th Kentucky Derby in a very photo finish. Mystic Dan just barely beat out Sierra Leone and Forever Young by a nostril in a photo finish as all three reached the finish line. This is now the 26th time that the Kentucky Derby has been decided by the length of a neck or less. And Mystic Dan reached the winner's circle in one of the most thrilling finishes in recent memory at Churchill Downs. Mystic Dan took the lead down the backstretch, and it looked like no horse would be able to catch him. But that's when both Sierra Leone and Forever Young made their move. As Mystic Dan began to slow a bit nearing the finish line, the two horses, seemingly pinned to one another, made the hard sprint to the finish line and nearly stole the victory away. Trainer Kenny McPeak and jockey Brian Hernandez Jr. also won the Kentucky Oaks on Friday at Churchill Downs, making them just the second tandem to accomplish the feat. In the immediate aftermath of the race, McPeak gave all the credit to Hernandez. McPeak said Hernandez has flown under the radar for a while, but those days are gone now. Brian just did an amazing job, McPeak told NBC in an on-track interview. Just a brilliant jockey and ride. I mean, the draw helped us from the beginning. We talked about that. Brian is amazing, probably one of the most underrated riders in racing, but not anymore, end quote. Because of the razor-thin margin of victory, everyone had to wait several minutes for an official winner to be declared. Hernandez described that anticipation as the longest few minutes I've ever felt in my life. Hernandez also said, winning the Kentucky Derby fulfills a childhood dream for him. Now, race favorite Fierceness started out strong, running with the leaders early, but down the stretch faded quickly to back and finished a disappointing 15th. Here are the complete results. First of all, your payouts. Mystic Dan, $39.22 to win, $16.32 to place, and $10 to show. Sierra Leone, $6.54 to place, $4.64 to show, and Forever Young, $5.58 to show. The $2 exacta, 3 and 2, paid off $258.56. The $1 try of 3, 2, and 11 paid off a whopping $1,113.84. And the $1 superfecta of 3, 2, 11, and 4 paid off a whopper of $8,254 minus taxes, which, well, y'all got to do. The complete results: Mystic Dan in first, Sierra Leone in second, Forever Young in third, Catching Freedom in fourth, T.O. Password in fifth, Resilience in sixth, Stronghold in seventh, Honor Maria in eighth, Endlessly in ninth, Dornoch in 10th, Trek Phantom in 11th, West Saratoga in 12th, Domestic Product in 13th, Epic Ride in 14th, Fierceness in 15th, Society Man in 16th, Just Steel in 17th, Grant Moe the 1st and 18th, Catalytic in 19th, and Just a Touch in 20th. Yahoo! Okay, we're at UFC 301. We got your live results. The flyweight title is on the line in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Let's give you the card and some of the results that took place. Here we go. It all started off with Alexandro Costa defeating Kevin Boras via second round TKO punches. Ismail Bonfirm defeated Vink Pitchell via unanimous decision, 30-27, 30-27, 30-27. Hurrah, DA! Dion Barboza defeated Ernesta Kerchiak via unanimous decision, 29-28, 29-28, 29-28. Mauricio Ruffi defeated Jamie Malarkey via first round TKO, knee and punches. That was no malarkey. Drakkar Kolos defeated Joaquim Silva via unanimous decision, 29-28, 29-28, 29-28. Mike Tibek Lorbai defeated Elves Brenner via unanimous decision, 29-27, 29-27, 29-27. Iasmin Lucindo defeated Carolina Kowalskiewicz via unanimous decision, 30-27, 30-27, 30-27. Yay. Anderson Brito defeated Jack Shore via second round TKO, Dr. Stoppage. Very good. And Caio Bortho defeated Paul Craig via second round knockout punches. So right now, the remaining items for UFC card 301, Michael Pereira versus Ior Potieria, middleweights. Vitor Petrino versus Anthony Smith, light heavyweights. Jonathan Martinez versus Jose Aldo, bantamweights. And the big one, the main event, Alessandre Pantoja, the champion, versus Steve Erceg for the flyweight title. And now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats, kittens, frogs, hogs, and other assorted, it is time for us to go from the news to give you the scores. And we call it scoreballs. It's scoreballs. Here they come. It's scoreballs. Let's have fun. We'll flash you our balls along with the scores. 'Cause the scoreballs is the best thing we ever came up with. Yeah. Scoreballs. All right, our scoreballs takes you to soccer, a.k.a. football. Let's go with England. Let's do it with pride. Arsenal defeated Bournemouth 3-0. Brentford and Fulham ended in a zip tie. Newcastle United defeated Burnley 4-1. Nottingham Forest had a visitor. His name, some guy named Robin Hood. And he'd helped Sheffield United lose. Yeah, that's right. It was Nottingham Forest 3, Sheffield United 1. Manchester City over Wolverhampton 5-1. La Liga Español. Real Sociedad defeated Las Palmas 2-0. Cadiz over Real Madrid. Real Madrid over Cadiz. I thought that was a 6. It was a 0. It's 3-0. Girona over Barcelona 4-2. And Atletico Madrid over Mallorca 1-0. Ladies and gentlemen. Now, in Das Bundesliga, Borussia Dortmund over Augsburg 5-1. Stuttgart over Bayern Munich 3-1. Werder Bremen and Borussia Mönchengladbach ended in a 2-2 tie. Wolfsburg over Darmstadt 3-0. And Cologne and Freiburg ended in a goose egg tie. Yes, friends. Everybody ended in a goose egg tie. Let's get you updated with MLS action. Let's take you to 3 games that are still going on as we speak. The New England Revolution are leading the Chicago Fire before the half, 1-0. Also in the 52 minute. At the 52-minute mark, there's what I was trying to say. Sporting Kansas City and Real Salt Lake tied at 0, as are Vancouver, Whitecaps, and Austin in the 3rd minute of play. Let's give some final scores, shall we? Nashville over Montreal 4-1. Houston Dynamo and St. Louis City ended in a goose egg tie. Toronto over Dallas 3-1. San Jose over Los Angeles 3-1. Cincinnati over Orlando 1-0. New York Red Bulls lost to Inter Miami 6-2. DC and Philadelphia tied at 2. Charlotte over Portland 2-0. Minnesota over Atlanta 2-1. That's right. We love doing this, don't we? And that's your MLS report and most of your Sucor report. I'll call it Sucor because it is. Let's go to some ice hockey. Stanley Cup playoffs continuing. Just entering the third period, Toronto and Boston are tied 1 apiece. In the AHL playoff, it was Hershey 5, Lehigh Valley 1, Rochester over Syracuse in overtime 4-3, and Texas beat Milwaukee 4-1. That, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, that's your ice hockey report. Let's take you now to basketball. And right now, one NBA playoff game, Minnesota over Denver, 106-99. In basketball Super League playoff action in Canada, London defeated London defeated Sudbury, 106-101. And we have any others? Yeah, too many of these, too many leagues. So there you go. That's what we have so far. Let's go to the other side of the world and bring you up to speed with Major League Baseball and Minor League Baseball. Are we going to have a little chance for a little listen in? No, we are not. Looking at the clock, it's 10:52. Right now, the third round of the AT&T Byron Nelson golf tournament has come to an end. Taylor Pendrith has the lead at 19 under. He is followed at second. Jake Knapp at 18 under. Ben Coles and Matt Wallace are tied at third at 17 under. And tied with a bunch of people in fifth place, 15 under, is Alex Noren. All right, baseball. We got two games still going on right now. The bottom of the ninth, Padres lead the Diamondbacks 13-0. We're just going to call it as we see it. Padres win 13-0. In the top of the seventh, Dodgers lead the Braves 7-1. Final scores: Yankees over the Tigers 5-3, Twins over the Red Sox 3-1. Final in 10 innings, Cardinals over the White Sox 5-6. Cubs over the Brewers 6-5. Blue Jays over the Nationals 6-3. Pirates over the Rockies 1-0. Athletics, holy, they missed the extra point, but they beat the Marlins 20-4. Phillies over the Giants, they kicked the field goal. Phillies won 14-3. Guardians over the Angels 7-1. Orioles over the Reds 2-1. Rangers, they got an extra 2 points. Rangers beat the Royals 15-4. Rays beat the Mets 3-1. Mariners beat the Astros 5-0. Let's. Do we have a slight chance? Yes, we do. But it's a little too much, so we'll just save the minor league baseball game or minor league baseball scores for tomorrow. Big agglomerated thing. So there you go. Because we are getting close to our shutdown, or do we chance it? Let's chance it a bit, okay? Let's chance it, kids. Let's chance it. Yes, we're going to chance it. No, we're not. Let's screw the chancing, okay? We'll get you some little fun skis here. Deadline reports, and we're going to tell you all about it here. We did before. We'll do it again. Let's see. Oh, we've already done the report, so here we go. There will be fewer Monday Night Football games simulcast on ABC. Let's see. Monday Night Football will be available in fewer ways during this coming season than it was in 2023. While Monday Night Football is an ESPN broadcast, games were simulcast on ABC during the 23 NFL season. While the simulcast will not go away in 2024, there will not be a weekly thing either. The key difference? The writer's strike that kept most shows from airing new episodes in the latter part of 2023 has been resolved. With that, ABC will return to a more normal fall schedule in 24, though a handful of games will still be simulcast, and ABC will be the exclusive provider of three. Citing John Arans, the Sports TV Ratings Twitter X account, tweeted on Thursday night, Monday Night Football will not be simulcast every week on ABC this year, as it was last year, due to the writer's strike. ABC will still simulcast 5 to 6 games and have 3 exclusives that will not be on ESPN. So there you go on that one, my friends. Hmm. Michael Cole has announced that, widely regarded as the voice of WWE, has expressed his passion for the business and appears he will no longer be performing his duties when it comes to managing announcers. PW Insider reports that Michael Cole has pulled back from his duties in managing WWE announcers to focus more on his role as the lead announcer for Monday Night Raw and premium live events. Sue Kundari will now take over the management of announcers for Cole. Kundari, who joined WWE in '95, holds the title of Director on Air Talent Operations and brings a wealth of experience to the position. So we wish her well, and we wish Michael Cole well. Okay, let's keep going. 2 more transfer portal options for Michigan State basketball. We're not even close to that. NFL toll access has been canceled by the NFL Network after 21 years. Um, let's see here. Paramount and Skydance exclusive negotiating window ends, but David Ellison is still in the mix. Good luck. Rite Aid has closed a quarter of stores as it navigates bankruptcy. Billy Gardell ends Bob Hart's Abishola, explores what's next. Well, I think we know what's next. He should do more comedies. Okay, let's see here. What else we got? I think that was it. Well, here we go. Yeah, we got one more, and then we're going to say our good nights. Adrian Newey has announced plans to leave Red Bull Racing by early 2025. The announcement ends months of speculation about his future in Formula One, and as the race weekend of the Miami Grand Prix begins, he's confirmed his immediate future. In a move that is set to mark the end of an era for the Milton Keynes team, Adrian Newey, one of the masterminds behind the team's numerous Formula One successes, has confirmed he will depart the team in early 2025 to focus on other projects, including the RB17 hypercar. This confirmation comes amid widespread speculation about his next move, which has been a hot topic in the F1 paddock in Miami. Okay, folks, we have reached that moment. We are about 50 seconds away from saying goodnight. We're going to say goodnight. We've got more to come. And for that, we say to you, thank you for joining us. I will see you tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific, with more. We will continue to bring you more scores, more stories, more everything, and some nice stuff as well. Until then, thank you very much. Good night. God bless. And keep them balls shiny because the world loves big, sporty balls. Thank you, everybody. I'm the Baxman. Good night. This has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the L2C Media Network and YouTube. Everybody, have a nice evening and be good to one another.